tablet. There we go.
All right, everybody, go.
Jazz got everything on there. That's what's up. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? This Be More Open. This is our second week. I'm your host, Jerome Barrett, with my host,
Rolanda.
Yeah, this week we coming back at y'all with a nice topic and everything. Like, I'm Jerome Barrett. I'm a host of the GGI radio show that's aired every Saturday on 101.7 WGNA on Live 365. We're an underground artist hip hop show that we bring local artists to y'all each week. I've been doing this, I say, for since '06, so about 12 years, and I've been doing the radio thing for about 5 years. Off and on. Me and my co-host, Mr. Tyrone, aka Mr. Sleazy. What he calls himself, the mouth of the South. He got a whole bunch of names anyway, right? So what's up, bro?
Nothing. You already know I'm Rolanda. Today, like he said, our topic is on domestic violence. Well, he didn't say what our topic was, but today's on domestic violence and just self-esteem and having confidence, getting through it. We have a special guest today. Her name is Miss Arletta Lee, and she's going to tell her story today. And, I think she's going to be able to help some people. And just in life, we've all been through a lot in life, and she has a serious story. I talked to her a little bit on the phone, maybe about a week or so ago, and she had me just in tears, and I didn't even hear the whole story. So I wanted to bring it to you guys as well as she did, and hoping that we can help others. And we're going to get started with Miss Arletta.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to share a little bit of my story. Well, I'm going to share some of my story with everyone. I was in an abusive marriage for a period of 10 years. When you're going through being abused, you tend to lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you think you're all by yourself. But even though when you have family that do want to tap in and help you, you still think you're by yourself because your abuser make you feel that way. I've been stabbed an inch away from my lung.
Can I ask you this question?
Sure.
Not to cut you off, but how if we can kind of go back to kind of like how it started, or where did the abuse come from, or like, you know what I mean, like, or where did it start? Like, how did it start?
Controlling, being controlling, wanted me to cut my friends off, wanted me to not talk to my family. I have 5 kids. My 3 oldest kids, he didn't want me to socialize with them if they wouldn't call him dad. And then it started, well, after he started controlling me, then it started with a push. The push started to a slap, then the slap started to fighting on me, which he would show up at my job to beat on me. Also, he would drive in front of my family's houses, threaten the family, threaten my kids, and me being scared and being fearful, I had to go along with what he wanted to, go through. And I'm not here to bash him, because that's not what I'm here to do. Right. I'm here to make people aware of all different kind of domestic violence, because it can be spiritually, it can be emotionally, it can be physically. And sometimes you can carry your own self through some things because you're in this dark cloud and nobody else want to see you happy. So you figure if they see you not happy, you go ahead and follow their route, but that's not the way to be. And being abused and you opening up to your family members and they get on the phone and they talk about, oh, here she go calling again. You don't know if that's the last call of that person calling you, trying to give you a code, I need help, or this and that and that and this. But when somebody call you, don't say, oh, girl, he back beating her tail, or girl, she called me with another sad story. Sometimes a listening ear can help someone get out of a terrible situation just as well as myself. For me to go through what I went through, going through the court system, being scared to look out the windows, being scared to go to work. I mean, I was just terrified. And like I said, I'm not going to bash him. That's not me. My thing is, being though I came out, I always kept a journal. I wouldn't look in the mirror at myself because he told me I wasn't beautiful. He told me that nobody would want me. He told me I was too fat. And when you have low self-esteem, you tend to believe everything that they pour into you, and it was nothing but negativity that I was getting poured into, not just from the abuser, but family and friends as well. Because if they see you coming, oh, here she come again, let's hide, let's not answer the door. And then everybody has their own opinion about somebody else's situation. Don't go off of nobody else's opinion. Hear it from the person's mouth. Don't hear it from somebody on the outside, because nobody know what that person is going through. Like, for instance, I'm not going to say no names, but I use a person that called, and when I called them, they got on the phone and told the next person, oh, she might be calling you, she might need something, but all I needed was a listening ear, because he had just beat me up that morning, and the only way I would get a chance to talk to somebody is when he would go to work. And it was like, my relief time was when he would go to work. But if you connected with somebody and you truly connected and that person opened up to you, don't go back and tell the person business. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what I did wrong. I went back and I told people my business, and when I told it, the story got so switched around and there was so much negativity coming from nowhere. So I just crawled under a rock. I didn't even want to live. I wanted to commit suicide because it was so much. It seemed like I was losing so much by being in this abusive situation. I mean, I got my teeth knocked out my mouth, but yet I still smile because there is a God. I learned to love myself all over again. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderfully made.
You definitely are.
And I'm going to keep on pushing. And I want to be able to reach young women. Men be abused, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You never, and I'm wrong, I guess I don't know if you had something that you wanted to answer, but there was never a point where you wanted to like call the police, you know, like when he did go to work, since that was your escape, like, or was it that you just felt so comfortable and settled, like you just, you know, stayed? And thank God I've never had to deal with domestic violence, so I don't know. I've never experienced it before.
Okay, to answer that question, I called the police one time. And sometime the police, that's your husband. We went to court and the judge actually said, oh, we're going to send him to 6 months anger management. But I'm black and blue. I had to put on eyeliner to hide my bruises. I used to be bruised. A bruiser will hit you where you cannot see the bruises. Some. And I had black and blue bruises all over me, and I used to lie for them to cover it up. So when people say, what happened to you? Oh, I did X, Y, and Z. So X, Y, and Z. So now Letty became became a liar because I was covering up so he wouldn't go to jail. But when it got to that point, and you will know when it's time to leave, because you be fed up and you leave with nothing. Everything you accumulated, you leave with nothing. You're going to get so many, why you leave? Why you do this? Why you do that? I left to save my life because I got being beat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was scared to catch the bus to go to work. I would look around. But I'll tell you what I did. I asked God to get me out of this situation.
He will do it.
Yes, He will. But this way I made the mistake. And some women do this as well. They get out, but then they go back. Because where they ran to, they use you up. And when after they use you up, you have nowhere else to go, so you go back. And the beatings get worse than it was the first time. I did that 3 times. But I thank God that I have a praying grandmother. I thank God that I had actually people in my circle that really actually cared. And then you also have to be careful because I went to a church thinking my pastor was going to help. And when things didn't go his way, he told everybody I was on drugs.
Oh, wow.
And
are you serious?
that dug me back into, yes, it dug me back into a hole. And when you slip into depression and you trying to figure out which way to go, and sometimes the only way, that bottle of Tylenol or that alcohol, that was my friend. Marijuana was my comfort place. So I stayed high off of marijuana, I stayed drunk off of Paul, and I just stayed in my sorrow. And I just said, God, I'm tired of living like this. I have to go. So I started, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to keep it 100 like I told you.
Right.
I started getting on chat lines.
Mm-hmm.
And when he would go, I would get on the chat line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for just somebody to talk to.
Right.
And right now, today, I've been married now for 10 years to my wonderful husband, Jack.
That's
I have
awesome.
2 more kids, so it's a total of 5. And it's just awesome to fall in love with yourself again and be able to love somebody. But what I do is I drag some of my old baggage exactly into my new marriage, and it started creating a problem because I still had this wall up that I wasn't going to let nobody get into my heart. As much as he tried to, I still wouldn't allow him in until he sat me down and said, I love you no matter what. And it melted. It melted me, and I'm like, somebody do love me. Somebody do accept me for who I am. Even though some people are still today, I will get some phone calls. I would say, some people would say, oh, that ain't true, this ain't true. But if you never was there, how do you know?
How do you know? Absolutely.
How do you know?
Let me ask you this: your ex, was he abused, or was his mother abused, or did he see abuse, people being abused in his life? You know what I'm saying?
I really don't.
You don't know, because sometimes people that've been abused tend to mimic what they, you know what I'm saying, that happened to them, or what they've been brought up. Like if they seen their mother being beat and stuff, they tend to, like when they grow up, feel that that's the norm for them to be, you know, a woman or something like that, because that's what they used to. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's true.
I never heard of anything of that sort, but I should have paid attention. My grandmother say, always pay attention how a man treats their mom, their grandma, my sister, and it wasn't nice.
He didn't have respect for his mother. So he must have seen his mother being abused by his father, because I noticed that, like, in a lot of dudes. Like, my mother, I never seen that. You know what I'm saying? I respected my mother to the whole, but I know a lot of dudes I grew up with that mothers was in abusive relationships, whatever. The son tended not to have respect for the mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you would think that you would want to protect your mother, but I guess growing up in that household is just the norm.
So you're saying that you, and not to get away from your story, but you were saying, you said basically a child that's, I guess, being brought up around that, you said that the guys like disrespect their moms because
some of them do, yeah, because I have co-workers, right, and you know how you do, you kind of try to figure people out or whatever. Right. So this guy, he's real disrespectful to females. So like what she said, he's real disrespectful. Females kind of find out he doesn't have a good relationship with his mother. So he takes it out on all the females. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a pattern. You know what I'm saying, that you can see like in people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I asked that, because I know a lot of dudes that grew up like in them type of situations, they just mimic the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That they're saying that father do, or you know what I'm saying, and what their mother went through, and you know, it's psychologically, you know what I'm saying? So that's why with a kid going through something like that really can screw a kid up.
It really can, because for instance, like my son, and one is 29 and one is 25. And I always tell them, don't talk to a female like that. You wouldn't want no male to talk to me or your sisters like that. And both of them have daughters, so they have to grow up as well. So you wouldn't like it if someone did it to you. But also, you got the women that take advantage and mentally abuse men. You ain't got this, you ain't got that, and you can't even pay a bill. You can't do that because you're breaking the man down. And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're breaking the man down, and as you're breaking the man down, he's falling out of love with you. You hurting him, so he's gonna pull back from you. So when you want to, we was invited to X, Y, and Z, and he say, no, I don't want to go. You created this monster. And some women do get physical with the male too.
Yeah.
And some men are treated not to be on a woman.
Yeah, I was
and
raised like
they take advantage of that.
And I'm sorry, Rome, and I told Rome before the conversation that we had, I thank God I've never had to endure or deal with domestic violence, but also too, I've never been in a relationship. I see so many people my age, younger and older, where people that's married or just people that is just their boyfriend or girlfriend, where these women are talking to. I've never been in a relationship where I called my man a bitch. Where I'm telling, not to his face. I'm sorry if y'all watching. But never to his face, let alone in front of other people. But I've never been in a relationship I'm calling them bitches. I'm sorry. Saying fuck you. Like I've never been in that type of relationship. I've never been in that type of relationship. I've never had a man talk to me like that, not in my face, and I've never did that. But let alone doing that in front of other people. Like you can't do that to a man. You can't do that to a woman either, but you can't do that to a man, and that, like you said, that breaks them down, and that really makes them feel some type of way. I mean, that's still no excuse for a man to put their hand on a woman, just going back to not getting too far off the topic, but that's no excuse, and that kills me, and I hate, it gets under my skin to just sometimes see women put men down so much, especially a man that's trying. And granted, a man may not have a job, or let's just say may not have a job. If you're at home and you're trying to still take care of home, he's helping you out at home, and he's doing right by you, there's no reason to put that man down. Now I can see if he's going years and years and years with the same pattern, right, of not getting a job, that's something totally different. But
I've been in that position where I wasn't working and my wife was working. I did everything in the house that's supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying? For us, when she got home, everything was good. You know what I'm saying? Cook, cleaned, everything that I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Until I got back up on my feet. You know what I'm saying? Which that helped me out a whole lot. And I never heard no slack about you ain't working, you ain't doing this or nothing like that. So it like really encouraged me more to try to go out there and do something. You know what I'm saying? To do something because I didn't have that pressure. But I also been in relationships where I did have that pressure. You know what I'm saying? Where I was taking care of a person and they was like shitting on me. But like that, straight like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to what your story was saying. Like on my end, I've been through something like that as far as with a female. My youngest kid's mother, we went through a whole thing. She was a really highly aggressive type female that I never dealt with before. You know what I'm saying? That always wanted to fight and argue and always had something. But she had a whole lot of demons and things with her. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing too. You gotta watch who you lay down with because you never know who you laying down with and what they got bringing into you, bringing that type of energy into your world. When that energy she brought into my world changed my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Changed my whole life. I was doing stuff and into stuff that I never been into in my life. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. It'll send you in a totally different.
And another thing too, was when you still stay into that all that commotion and that drama, people don't want to deal with you because they don't want that around them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say, "Oh, here they come the bullshit."
You know what I'm saying? Speaking on a friend's from like a friend's perspective, because I have had friends that have dealt with domestic violence, but sometimes you feel like you don't want to say any. You might say something that one time, but after that, it's like you really don't want to say anything because if you know that these people are going to stay together, it's like, why should I'm not going to keep telling you. For one, I'm not going to tell anybody they should leave their significant other because that has to be your choice and your decision. Yeah. But sometimes friends, I feel like friends or family members, just outsiders, period. I feel like sometimes you just want to not get involved. Like you can still be there to support your friend.
That's the closest thing I think. It's not getting involved, you know what I'm saying? Say something, you know what I'm saying? Do something because you might not get involved and then something tragic happens. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like what she said though, that's a controlling person. When they cut everybody on outside, because I've been in that situation. My mother, she isolated my mother, isolated my sister, a homeboy. We've been friends for over 20-some years. He wouldn't come around, but nobody wanted nothing but us in that little box. That was it. Consistent in the world. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how I was. Even you could have called me. Hey, how you doing? What's up? I ain't talked to you in a while. Or you could have called me and he would have said, "Oh, you screwing that nigga."
Yeah. Yep.
Screwing them.
Yeah.
And this could be a homie from
Yeah.
around the way,
Yeah.
but you gotta
Yeah.
be screwing them.
Yeah.
And sometimes some females have male best friends.
Yeah.
Some females have, you know what I mean? Vice versa. It's the same thing. But they can go out and have friends.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can do whatever they want to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, and half the time they probably was doing something,
And
you know what I'm
was.
saying, and
It
trying
was.
to keep the focus off of them and try to put it on you.
Blame
You know what I'm
you for
saying?
Let me ask you this: when was that last draw that made you like, oh no, this is it? I can't. I'm done.
The last draw was he came home from work. A female was at his job, and he kept saying, "I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back." I knew something was wrong, but I still had my peace of mind because at that time, because I was in the house by myself,
Right.
and he came home and he fought on me. The house was clean, food was cooked. He went in the closet, knocked everything out the closet. Bitch, I'm gonna beat you up. It got to the point that when it was intercourse time, it felt like I was being raped because the dirt and the filth, that stuff that he would do on the outside, you would bring it home to in the inside. And I was done. I was lost. So if I didn't do it, what he wanted me to do, I'm getting beat on either way. So what made me leave is I finally looked in the mirror at myself and I say, I am beautiful. I have to get out. God, I'm trusting you. When I leave out this door, I'm not coming back. I set the keys on the table. I left all my clothes. I took what I had on my back and I left. But I always kept a journal. Always keep a journal. Always jot something down and leave it somewhere so somebody, if something do happen, somebody can have a place where this will happen this day. To have proof that it happened.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something, and I don't know who this might reach. If it reach one person, never be scared to tell what's going on. Always tell the truth. Don't make up no story to cover up for him or her. Because at the end of the day, the abusers getting away with it. They walk around with an S on their chest. Yo, I just stayed out with bit by bit, and then I'm going home to the main girl, and I'm beating the hell out of her. But I'm treating the outside chick like she got the diamonds and the pearls, and your home life is suffering. And then when you get locked up, why you do me like this?
Right.
But then you come home and you beat the hell out the woman again. And then the same police will come like, I thought you was leaving. But like I said, what really made me leave is I looked up in the mirror. I stayed praying. Even though I was praying, I was still coming back because I didn't want to be out in the street and I didn't want to hear, I told you so. I told you this was going to happen. You can't, when somebody come to talk, you can't say, I told you so. You know that nigga wasn't about nothing. You know that B wasn't about nothing. No. But I always kept God first in everything. Everything I do, I always keep God first.
That's it.
Always. Because he a man that don't lie, and he will protect you everywhere you go. I mean, I used to look over my head. I could be with my husband that I'm with today, and I feel sometimes I look, but I'm not scared now because I know that my husband will protect me.
Right.
Any way, shape, form, or
And that's a
fashion.
husband's job.
And trust me, I gave him the blues. I was on both sides. Being an abuser, falls with my mouth, and being abused. So I know how I feel on both sides.
So when you was the abuser, was that with your last
no,
husband
that was
or
with
this
I brought
relationship?
the junk into my new marriage.
Okay.
And I beat him down with words. And it took me a while for me to overcome some stuff because I still had to work on me.
Right.
And when I seen my husband not looking like himself, I became the abuser. So I had to write in my journal and I had to write to God, this is not what I want. I don't want my husband to have to go through what I went through. So we had roller coaster rides, but when I tell you, you put it in God's hand and work it out, and God will turn the situation around, trust me, you're looking at a survivor. I survived, I endured, but like I told you before, I had to endure some things for the next person that's going to come after me. So when I tell you, I got your hand, I'm gonna uplift you, so you reach your hand out to uplift that other person. We gotta make a circle.
That's right.
We got whether it's a man or a woman, and then you got these little girls out here that thinking it's okay for a boy to push them
Beat
outside.
up on them,
that's
push on
not
them, and it's
cool.
not cute. And it's not cute.
But that's the whole thing that I don't understand is like how men feel that that's, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, my son's mother arguing, fighting and everything, and then you land up there bruised up, beat up, sored up, you know what I'm saying, you know, we love each other, but at one minute we ready to try to kill each other.
Love don't
You know what I'm
hurt.
saying?
Let
You
me
know what I'm
ask
saying?
you that though. Is that like, you know, because they do, or if a man or a woman beat on you or put their hands on you, they never love you. Is that
That's some
true though?
bullshit.
Because you can't. So
bullshit.
which part is bullshit? I'm saying
But-
saying somebody like.
No,
so
saying that
basically
you gotta
saying
put your
love
hands
you,
on
right?
somebody
To
To
love
love
to
you.
show love.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Like we laying up there all back, bruised. 5 minutes ago we were ready to kill each other.
Yeah, right.
And then
And now we sitting up there, we love it. No, something wrong with that.
yeah,
That's
it's
sick.
yes. But it's another thing too, because then you get a call from your homegirl, girl, he just gave me the best sex.
Right.
You all beat up.
But she.
You gave me your lip bust.
But
black eyes.
I ain't like that. I didn't like that. I ain't even want to touch you. You know what I'm saying? What I want, you know what I'm saying? You didn't call me everything but a child of God. Now you want to know. Now I'm daddy.
Right.
Now I'm daddy. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't daddy about 10 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Yeah, it's weird. That's why I say it must be the upbringing or something psychologically that this person went through, and they come to find out with my son's mother, she went through abuse. So she was just mimicking what happened to her. She went through it like seeing her mother go through the same thing. So it was just an ongoing cycle and pattern that, you know what I'm saying, that was in her life. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I just don't understand if you're a man, a man is physically stronger than a woman anyway. So why would you know what I'm saying, you ain't got to do that.
Just walk away.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Or, like, me and my wife, we've been together. We've been married for 2 years, but we've been together like 14 years. We have arguments and everything like that. It just ends. That's it that day. All that physical stuff, no. I'm not going to put our hands on her. She's not going to put her hands on me. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious being like, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? You just be mad and everything. The thing is to have a partner and go through this life together. And that's the partnership. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get more. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't go through this like you leading all the daggone time. No, because it's not like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 99-1%.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you know,
Exactly.
you gotta, you know, if you with this woman, you love her, you gotta trust her. That's your partner.
That's
You know what
it.
I'm saying? That's your partner through this journey. And I don't understand, a lot of males don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the social media videos and different stuff in the movies that got these dudes' minds twisted up thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it's a notch on your belt to be controlling. Nah, you know, nah.
But see, do you think friends are wrong? Because you know how you got some guys, they cocky about it. They brag, oh yeah, man, I just had to be good as.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
But their homeboys ain't saying,
Or
or their
co-sign,
friends not
yeah.
like,
Because they don't want to seem
you know, they
to be out of
no,
place.
you put
know
your
what I'm saying?
hands on a woman, or you doing this, they not checking them and they not
Right,
saying nothing.
right,
It's like they
right.
cheering them on.
Yeah, they don't want to be like, yo, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? It's that pride or egotistic
Yeah,
type
they don't
of
want to feel
bull
like
crap,
a
you know what
sucker
I'm
or
saying?
something like
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it is a
that's
sucker
crazy,
for you
but
to put
that's
your hands on.
right. But
It's
that
a-
makes you a
That's
sucker
a
as
sucker,
well.
you know what I'm saying? For real.
For cheering a man on for putting their hands on a woman, that's not cool. Where is that cool at?
I don't know.
Like-
That's how this world is,
It
man.
is, it
That's how
is.
this world is. You know?
But how can I ask you, I guess I have another question about your children. How did that affect, or how do you think that affects your children, or what like negative impact? Because you have older children, so if they were around, did they experience
They
any
sing
of that?
something.
And
They sing.
do you think it affected them being? So you have boys. Do you ever sit down and talk with them? I mean, I'm asking you more than one question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you the first question. My kids are very bitter in some situations because my mother had to raise them because I was scared he was going to hurt them. So I had to do what was best for my kids. And my kids' eyes just look like I just left them to be with this man. But if he's beating on me, I have to protect you. So I'm thinking I'm doing something right, and they thought, oh, mommy left us with this man. And then when you got people pausing in their ear, your mother left you to be with this man beating her ass, da 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 da, stuff like that. And now when we get in little arguments, they take what I've been through and try to use it as a weapon. But
Like for which, like example? Can you give me an example?
okay, for instance, I'm gonna say my oldest son. He's 29. When he get mad, he's like, "Oh, you ain't never do nothing for us. You grandma raised us." But when grandma didn't have the funds to do it, whose job she came up on my job to get it? Like I tell him, I'm gonna put everything that happened to me in my past. It's gonna stay behind me in the backpack. God sealed it up for a reason. So if you feel as though you want to open that backpack up and prowl through it and pick out certain things, it don't hurt me like it used to. It's not a fresh wound. You might try to pick it. It's like picking at a scab, and that scab do have it heal. But you gotta realize when a person going through something and you try to take that and use it as a weapon. When a person is healed from that situation, none of that can hurt him, and that's where I'm at with it. Whichever one of my kids try to throw it at me, okay, I've been through that. That's my past. Let's move on to the future. Because I'm not looking back. You can stay back there, but I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward.
You ever thought about going to counseling? Having y'all counseling? Because maybe it's something that they struggling with.
The kids.
You know what I'm saying? That they having hard to deal with, and you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to let it go or bring it out. You know what I'm saying? You need to like sit down and talk to them and like, you know, let's lay it all on the table like you just said. Let's lay all this all on the table, and anything, questions that you need to be asked or you thought about or whatever, I can answer it to you to get closure. You know what I'm saying?
Answer your question. I tried that. It gets into, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to talk about that. But when they get mad, they bring it back up.
So don't bring it back. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing.
And see, how do you handle that though? Because it's like you still, when they come to them, when they do talking about it and throwing it up and bringing it to you, you know, at the same time, do you want to just shut them down? You know, you don't want to do that at the same time. You know, you don't.
I don't do that. We'll talk about it.
Right.
Like me and my 25-year-old, we just had a conversation. He remember an incident where he caught the abuser putting cigarettes in my mouth because I started smoking at the age of 26, and he didn't want me to smoke, and he made me eat cigarettes, and it made me sick on my stomach. And my son hold that in his mind. And he say, if I ever see him, it's going to be me and him. But I don't want you to go out here and get in no trouble because that's my past. And I love you more to see you behind the ball for hurting somebody that probably need help himself.
Yeah. But he's going to go through something anyway because karma is
And
great. You know what I'm saying?
But see, but I'm asking about for us, our son too. Do you think that that's going to have any effect on him and how he treat women, or have you seen? Well, you say he already had a son, so you know, have you seen any of those traits in his relationship?
As far as disrespecting a woman,
Yeah, disrespect or abuse.
And I tell him that is not right. That you wouldn't want nobody to do that to your daughter. You wouldn't want nobody to do that to your mother. The same way you feel, somebody else feel about their child.
Absolutely.
And that's how you gotta look at it. That's it. That's all. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing because can't nobody tell my story the way that it happened but me because nobody was there. I don't, like I tell people, I don't want no pity party.
Right.
I just want to be able to help somebody to get
That's
out
exactly
of a
what
situation.
you told me the first time I spoke with her.
I don't want no pity party. Don't feel sorry for me because I don't feel sorry for myself. It's just something that I had to go through. So I will be able to help somebody else if they come to me. Now you're gonna have some women that like, for instance, my son's girlfriend. She talks to me, and I share some of my story with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I see a change. It's a change because if you let one man disrespect you, you're gonna let another man disrespect you.
Absolutely.
So if you're not demanding respect from this man, he's not gonna give you no respect. Period. And that's with a woman as well.
You need to get out of that relationship.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, it's not always just easy for people to just get out of that relationship.
thing-
I don't know. Like I said,
No.
I've never been in it, so I don't know. But
No, I understand what you're saying, but it's red flags all the way. You see these red flags, you ignore them. You know what I'm saying?
So if you can give people signals of guys that's or the, what red flags in the beginning of domestic violence, what would you say in the beginning of a relationship?
The controlling part is the biggest thing.
Besides controlling,
You know what
too,
I'm
because you have some people that's that perfect gentleman, like the movie, that perfect gentleman in the beginning.
Deep down, it's coming. That controlling thing is a trip. When don't nobody want to fuck with you.
Exactly.
Nobody. And they even cut these people off, and you wondering like, what the fuck is going on?
They make up stories why they don't want you around that person. It's real.
Hell yeah.
It's real.
Hell yeah. Like you said, I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't even ask nobody on the street. Oh, you fucking with her? Who's that? I don't even know her. You know her. No, I don't.
You know what time it is? What you giving the nigga your phone number? What you gonna meet up with him so y'all? What you gonna suck his dick? I mean, shit like that, and that's it's crazy. That's how it start. And some girls, girl, he tripping. No, he about to beat your brains out when you get in the house.
And some women do think it's cute, and they think that that's oh he loved me. Well, that's just like they want a man to be demanded and on them, and oh no, I don't want you doing this. I don't want women like some women like that. I know two people personally that likes things like that. Like they find that cute, and they think that means I guess that he's on them or he wants them, or he's jealous, or I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's something deep down inside
wrong with them, right?
Exactly. Because no woman or no man should want to be beaten, banged on. You got to put on makeup. And I don't like women. I got on lipstick and some eyeshadow. That's the budget. I'm not gonna I'm not covering up nothing no more. I came out for a reason, and my reason is to be able to help somebody else. But if it's a man or a woman that's going through, I'm willing to help. Anything they need, I want to help. That's it. I just want to help because I wish I had more help when I was going through, and not nobody. Oh, girl, you know, it took a man to help me come out of my situation, and that man right now today is my husband.
That's awesome.
It took a man.
That's awesome.
And people say you don't go nowhere. I used to go to church, still go to church, and be with my husband and my kids. I don't rip and run the street. I don't. I'm in a so much better. I'm in a place where I just had to fall in love with myself all over again. I had the jewelry, I had the shoes, I had the hairstyles, the nails, I had it all. I had 2 cars. I had it. That don't faze me.
And that doesn't make you happy at the end of the day.
It don't.
It doesn't.
And that's why some females stand in a relationship. Oh, girl, he just dropped 5 bands on me. Yeah, but how many ass whoopings did you have to take to get that 5 bands?
And how much time is he spending with you? You know what I mean? What are y'all doing together? What do y'all have together? What are y'all building together? And that's not
the key.
No more.
That's the key. Building. I say building.
Nobody.
That's the key.
Like that's not important no more. And I just feel like social media as well. Again, I say it again, plays a big part in just the way that the world is today. Like with everything.
Let me tell you something. Social media, your life could be one way. They get on social media, it's another way. You walk in that person's door. If it's an uptight situation, you could even call somebody. If it's an uptight situation on the phone, it's something going on in that household.
In the household.
It's something going on in the household.
They say everybody is going. I'm trying to think of it was like a phrase or something I seen. It says everybody is going through something that other people can't see. Like everybody has something that they're going through or dealing with, and you just don't know. But that's why I want us to do. We're definitely going to do an episode on the topic on mental illness too, because I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, that's a real big.
It's a big problem, and I think that plays a part too in domestic violence. Like if something is mentally wrong with you, if you want to constantly just keep beating on somebody and beating on somebody and beating, like what is wrong with you?
And this is another thing too. And I said this to you when we had a conversation. When a man says sorry, that means they're gonna do it over again. When you apologize, that to me, it's trying to make progress because you're aware of what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying stay in no abusive relationship. Don't get twisted. Because if you have a way out, get out. It's organizations out here that's willing to help you. Trust me, you're looking at a person. I ran for a whole year, not being with my family, not being with my kids. staying here, staying there, to get away. And when your body finally rests, you sleep for days. I mean, you sleep because it's like you detoxing yourself, regurgitating stuff. But I use gospel music. I use writing in my journal. I use prayer. Prayer. I keep saying that prayer work
Prayer
because
definitely
it's
works.
somebody right now on one of these live Facebook right now that's going through it and don't know how to get out of the situation or scared to come out of the situation. When I'm for one, if you want to reach out to me, I can help you. I can give you a code. I can give you a number.
Oh, not to cut you off, but you were saying too that you wanted to explain and give people, and this is just some extra tips on people that might be facing domestic violence and don't want to tell anybody or scared to say something. A letter was saying that there are like code words that you can use, and if you wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's code words you can use. You can only the ones that you trust. You can't trust everybody with this code word. It's and I don't want to say too much because House of Ruth is using it, so I really don't want to say too much about it. But if you send your email address or your phone number to one of them, and I can leave it with them, and they can tell you. But I can tell what I had to use. I used.
Okay.
I would call my mom because he didn't want me to talk to my mom. I would call my mom and I'm like, "What you cooking?" And she knows shrimp is my favorite thing. So I would say, "It's shrimp on the stove." And she ain't play around. She called the police.
She knew exactly what that
And
meant.
one day he was actually, when I say turn the fur off of me, he was beating me while the police was knocking at the door. And I screamed so loud that the neighbors downstairs had to get the rental office to come and open the door. So
Oh my God.
I can leave you with some cold words. And whoever out here looking, I do not want y'all to be afraid to open up. Or you don't have to be a punk if you're a man, or
Not at
if
all.
you're a teenager.
Not at all.
If you're a teenager that's going through it, reach out to somebody.
And if you don't mind, Arletta, I can give them your Facebook, and if they want to maybe inbox you, for information or whatever, or however to go from there, you can help them out, give them different resources, or just advice, or just maybe a listening ear,
Ruth,
or
House of
whatever.
Ruth. Yeah, House of Ruth. Yeah, I want to talk about that too because they have a walk coming up April the 21st, which is a Saturday.
Okay.
Get out, get your t-shirts on, and let's walk this walk. Let's join
I'm
together,
with
men
you.
and
I'm
women,
with it.
and
I'm with it.
let's do it.
I'm definitely
Like,
with it.
also, if y'all don't mind, I want have something on the table. I wrote a book called Tears. It's about my story. So
Okay.
it's in the process of being worked on as we speak. And also,
No more tears, y'all, so listen out for that.
it's coming real soon. And also, I want to start a program because I live in Anne Arundel County, and it's called The Pearl Within. And you have to, I want these young ladies to dig deep into themselves to find out where they want to go, what they want to be, encourage them, tell them, about life. Life period. The age group's going to be from 13 to 21. So that's
really
another
nice.
project that I'm working on. And if you're not going to be about it, don't talk about it. Because it's a lot of people out here that really need the help. And if I could I shout out to people like Kiss Incorporated. I reached out to her. She's in Baltimore City.
Okay.
And she's on your page too. And she works
Oh,
with...
yeah.
Yes, exactly. I reached out to her to how to get started. And that's how I know she's sincere about her young ladies because she just sent me in the right directions, and I really do appreciate her. And then you have a young man, the Leaders Project Incorporated. We're going into black communities and reaching out to the young boys and young girls. So that's something that I want to bring to Anne Arundel County. I
Okay.
want to team up with somebody because it is lost kids out here. These young girls turn into young teenagers to young women to women. So if you already equip them what it should be, then they will grow up and be successful.
Right.
Because it's somebody right now sitting on the side of the bed crying in their car crying, listening on the radio crying. You know, somebody reaching out with help, but don't know which way to go. Yeah, and you also can reach the House of Ruth.
Well, y'all, like, you know, I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. If anybody have any questions, I don't know. I'm Jasmine. Did anybody have any questions that you know of? And if anybody, you know, wanted to reach out to Arletta as well on Facebook, her name is Arletta Lee, Arletta, right?
Arle. It's Arletta Dowdy Lee.
Or you can give that information out better than I can. Go ahead if you want to spell it out.
Arletta Dowdy Lee on Facebook, and it's Lee Arletta on Instagram.
Yeah, so if y'all have any, you know, if y'all want to just reach out to her and maybe want her to forward you guys to any resource centers, or, you know, just needed any advice with domestic violence or whatever, y'all can hit her up on her Facebook, you know, message her. That would be great. You know, message her. That would be great. You know, message her.